Hey everyone, welcome to Andrea's Closet. Today I'll be doing a reading for the sign of Gemini. I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been watching. Please let me know if these videos have been resonating with anyone. I most definitely want to hear everyone's feedback. So without further ado, let's get started. God, ancestors, divine, Jesus, Holy Spirit, Spirit guides, angel guides, please give me a message for the sign of Gemini for the 5th to the 12th. Please give me an important message for the sign of Gemini from the 5th to the 12th. Those who is watching, okay, all right. Geminis, you got a message here. Geminis, you got a message popping out. This is an important message for the sign of Gemini for February 5th to the 12th. Please give me an important message for the sign of Gemini for February 5th to the 12th. God, ancestors, universe, divine, Holy Spirit, Jesus, Spirit guides. Thank you for your blessings. Thank you for your love, your mercy. I pray. Okay, this card just came out all nice and all right. An important message for Gemini. Okay, so first things first, all of these cards came out reverse. The Two of Pentacles came out reverse. The Sun card came out reverse. And the Six of Wands came out reverse. Now, this is not a completely bad reading. You have been balancing something. You've been juggling between something, right? And it could have been something that would have given you, all of these cards came out reversed. It could have been something that could have given you happiness, bliss, you know, it could have made you smile, and you ruined it in a way. That's the word that just popped up to me, is ruined. This was not intended to be a love reading, but I'm getting that this is a love. See, you were juggling between two things and you weren't too sure, right? There was one thing that you felt was going to give you complete bliss and complete happiness, but because of your juggling, you ruined it. You messed it up. And you, for some reason, thought that juggling these two was going to bring you some type of bliss. You basically wanted to each have your cake and eat it too. And instead of you listening to your higher self, you decide to ignore it and do as you please with the High Priestess in reverse. Then you have the Hangman, right? And for some reason, this is not necessarily, doesn't necessarily have to be a love reading, right? It can be something that you thought was going to bring in finances, money, and because you were trying to juggle so much, it overlapped. It didn't work out, and you knew that it wasn't going to work out. So now that it's not working out, you have no choice but to hang like the hangman and be patient and have faith, right? Then the Ace of Pentacles is new fortunes coming in. The Hierophant, following the same path, following the, I don't want to say same path, but necessarily, it's more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not religion. It's more like following the rules. You're listening, you're giving in. And then you have the Knight of Cups that came out. You're gonna be getting some good messages and some good news from this endeavor. It's weird because it started off with love, a lot of love in the beginning, and then it turned into finances and business. Okay, this is a very interesting reading. Fool in the reverse and the Emperor. Alright, so let's pull a card from the Power deck. God, ancestors, divine, please give me an important message for the sign of Gemini for the month of February, the 5th to the 12th. Please give me an important message for the sign of Gemini for February 5th to the 12th. That's an important message. Magic. If you do not believe in magic, your life will not be magical. Magic, like the power of Stonehenge, is part of the unknowable, that which you cannot describe but exists and makes your life extraordinary. It is part of the goodness of your spirit. It is the mysterious and intriguing part of your spiritual life. Magic is what we are all looking for, but if you try to hold it and name it and describe it, you will lose it. You must talk around magic, describe what led you there, and give thanks for that part of the universe that is unknowable and full of color and strength and magic. Out of relationship comes magic. Out of friction of forgetting and remembering comes magic. Out of the mist of dawn and mysteries of creation comes the magic that we call life. Out of your passion for existence comes magic. See what other messages we have from the Power deck. Ancestors divine, please give me an important message for Gemini from the Power deck. Gemini had a very interesting read. Virtue and release. Virtue. Virtue is one of the passive qualities of power. When you pull back the bow, preparing to set the arrow and define your target, you use the strength, the will, and the focus that you have collected within the part of yourself called virtue. Virtue is where you find inner truth. It is a place of illumination, and as that radiance grows within you, it becomes integrity. Without virtue, there is no inner balance. Virtue comes from the unknown, quiet things that you do for the world and for other people. With each virtuous act, your spirit shield becomes stronger and more beautiful, intriguing the symbols of your inner life. However, like the deer, these symbols tread softly. Virtue marks your path on the other side, and like the one who walks last, the virtuous person is in a position of power. Walk in beauty, and virtue as power often arrives quietly. Release. Anytime you are possessed by an emotion that you cannot control, know that it does not belong to you. Someone is sending negative energy towards you. Imagine that the negative emotion is muddy water pouring down through your hands onto your legs and feet and into the earth, or take that emotion into your hands and release it like a hawk. Let it fly away. We tend to hold on to fears and negative energy in an addictive way. When you release your fears and allow power to come into you, create a welcoming void within through the power of release. Okay. So, like I said, with the tarot cards, right? If you continue to be so stubborn and stuck and try to balance all these things without taking your time and without actually believing that it'll work, it's not gonna work. So you have to release your control for your grip on control and just work in the things that you need to be working on. You going all over the place. You're not actually working on the things that you know needs the most attention from you. You will meet your soulmate when the time is right. Okay, too many cards popping out. God, ancestors, divine, please give me one divine feminine for Gemini. Okay, as for one, got three. So, Shekinah, the presence of the divine feminine. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. Rabia, the queen of saintly women, I am in service of divine love. I move the way love asks me to move. Saint Bridget, Our Lady of Exiled Light, I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. So let's learn a little bit about these divine feminines. Saint Bridget lived in alignment with the highest, most exiled aspect of her being. She was born a slave, and yet legend relates that she gave away anything she possibly could to help those in need. Her generosity was an indication of the tremendous inner wealth she received from her connection to spirit. Her message to us is to reconnect to that inner fire, the eternal flame that feeds us more than anything external to us ever could. Read poetry or whatever feels like sacred scripture to your soul. Let your soul voice surface through some uncensored automatic writing, or let your soul guide your body through movement. Your answers right now are in releasing any attachments to personal possessions, clearing space, uncluttering your home, giving away what you do not need or someone needs more than you do. Soul voice meditation. What can I clear out of my space that no longer resonates with me? So this is going back to the tarot cards where you were juggling two things, and then you were forced to have to let it go. Now, I'm not too sure if it was something that you had to let go of both things, or you just had to let go of one. But because of the selfishness and the juggling, and not necessarily only the selfishness, well, when it comes to the love portion of it, somebody was being extremely selfish. But when it comes to the business portion of it, the financial portion of it, it seems as though you weren't necessarily being greedy, but you didn't want to take your time. You just wanted to skip some steps and just hop right over to $1 million. So Rabia represents someone who loves without any attachments, who gives without any attachments, right? She knows that she is love, and she provides that without looking for anything in return. So let's do Shakina. When your soul selects her card, in the Zohar, the main sacred text in the Kabbalah, is described as being a world within the world, as a bright radiance at the center of everything. All life on earth, all consciousness is a part of her light and therefore sacred. The metaphorical theory of immanence is that the divine presence is manifested in the material world, so there isn't actually any matter, whether organic or inorganic, that isn't also a part of the divine. The Shekinah is light that inhabits your body, your cells, and in the cells of the people and objects you see around you. She is also about pure experience. She is the message, the truth that there is light at the center of everything that happens to us, both the good and the bad. And the Shekinah is a reminder that we are not just this body or this pain we might be going through, or this confusing moment in our brief life. We are light. We are molecules of heaven in human form, and right now we can just know this. We can experience the light we are, and that can be enough. That can be the miracle and the answer we actually need, not words or meaning, but simply and more profoundly pure radiance beings. Soul voice meditation. Enter the heart and repeat this mantra: I am light. We see images or words arise. So now somebody's feeling as though they're like, kind of like, why does this happen to me? Why me? Type of thing. But you have to step back and look at the decisions that you've made, right? Take some accountability in both situations, love or finances. Take responsibility for the choices and the actions that you've made. Hope this resonated for anyone. Let me know. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.